We are welcoming new member here to the NBC Chicago family. Veteran film and media critic Richard Roeper is joining us here as an entertainment and culture reporter. First day on the job, Rich, how does it feel?
Alex, everybody has been so welcoming and warm. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And I mean, of course, you're a well-known name in Chicago and beyond. You've been doing reviews on a lot of things for about 30 years now. So tell us, how's the business changed? How have things changed from when you first started? Of course, you've been writing so much, Sun Times books, everything.
It's changed a lot, Alex. You know, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, movies would be in theaters. Titanic played in theaters for 9 months. So the way we consume movies, you had to go see Titanic. Everybody was talking about it. Now that window is maybe 40 days, even as few as 17 days between theatrical release and home video. So in a lot of cases, there isn't that urgency. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm working, I got the kids, I can't go to the movies, I'll wait for it to come out on streaming.
And of course, what's replaced a lot of our entertainment diet is television now. Not a bad thing, just got to say. When did you start to do the television reviews as part of your weekly schedule and help us digest all that's out there right now?
I'm here for that. That's what I'm here for. I consume them all and tell you what you have to do. You know, there was this golden age that started with Breaking Bad and Mad Men and Game of Thrones, and I started noticing in conversations just with friends and family, it was as much, what are you binging or what are you watching? So I started doing television reviews, and then of course you have the series I mentioned, Alex, or Game of Thrones. They're made like miniature movies. They look like films. They're directed by
budgeted as so
and budgeted as movies. So that's what I'm going to do every week here as well. I'm going to tell you what's playing in theaters, but I'm also going to give recommendations or warn you away from certain series.
So what's your take on the movie business right now? Because entertainment's changing in a huge way, but are people still going? And when they do go, what gets the butts in the seats?
You know, that's a great question, because last year there were 770 million tickets sold to movies in the United States alone. And the global market has gotten huger, too. But again, it now has to be an event because it's so expensive. So the theaters have, they do those custom-made seats, and you can get drinks and food brought to you. So it has to be something like Sinners, you want to go to the theater to see it. Marty Supreme, you can watch it on home video. And same thing with some of the movies that are out now. I'll tell people sometimes, the truth is, I want you to go to the movies, but you can wait for it to stream.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now what's playing in theaters right now? Because we got maybe good movie weather, I'd say today. Go sit in the theater. Or so what's at the movies, and then what's streaming that we can catch this weekend if we're inside? Okay,
in theaters you got to see Project Hail Mary, especially with Artemis 2. It's such a great synergy there. And Alex, the science is great, and it's beautiful, and it's got great messaging. Ryan Gosling is terrific. I've had some people say to me, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. That seems long. And I'm like, have you been to a White Sox game? My White Sox,
You're going to be a little more entertained.
And you're not guaranteed that you're going to have a satisfying ending with that. Project Hail Mary is my favorite movie of the year. There's a film called The Drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson that's been getting a lot of talk. Here's something I would not recommend, Alex. It's about a couple who's about to get married, and they tell each other the worst things they've ever done in each other's lives, like what I've done. And when he finds out what she did, now he's like, are you the person I know? So don't see this on a first date, but also don't see it on a 15th anniversary, I think.
All right, something in between.
And then streaming right now just dropped yesterday on Peacock. It's called The Miniature Wife. I've seen all 10 episodes because, again, that's what I'm going to do for you.
Get the early access.
And I really like this. So Matthew McFadyen, people know him from Succession. He plays a scientist, and he shrinks his wife, played by Elizabeth Banks, to 6 inches. Now, that sounds like a wacky comedy, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, and there is comedy, but there's actually a lot of good commentary here about how, metaphor, basically, like how some people feel small in a relationship or unseen. So there's some, 2 layers going on here. There's some interesting domestic drama, and then you get to see a 6-inch Elizabeth Banks, fending off the family cat. That's good stuff.
A mix of everything. Rich, so glad to have you. Welcome in here. We're looking forward to talking to you every single week and catching us up on everything that's happening in the entertainment world. We appreciate it.